Hey guys, today we're going to talk about contractor website design. So how to design your website for a contractor in a way that helps your customers find the information they need and convert on your page. So convert meaning like call you or fill out a form or take the action step that you want them to take. So the first thing I want to go over is the UX design. UX stands for user experience, and that covers a lot of things, but it talks about, that's like the concept of like having a page layout that helps your customer figure out the information that they want and quickly. So the first thing we want to go over is you want to make sure everything's communicated clearly. And what I mean by that is when a person lands on your website, they're asking a few questions. They want to know who you are. So I'm ABC Roofing. They want to know what you do, whether it's residential or commercial, shingle, metal, flat. They need to know that. They need to know where you do that. So what city you work in, or cities, or general area. And then how to contact you. And a fun experiment is if you go to other roofing websites and you look at and you see how well they're doing on all of that. Here's an example from Able Roofing, and they're crushing it in SEO and web design. And you'll see they have a clear indicator of who they are, what services they do. They're listed at the top in this menu, and then where they're located. You can click the location button, and then how to contact them. There's multiple ways to contact them. And one cool thing about this aspect of this website is they have a chat box, they have a form to fill out, they have a phone number you can call, and they have a contact us page, and they also have a get a free quote page. That's 5 different ways that somebody can contact them from just clicking on the home page, which is great because you want to make it as easy as possible for the customer to contact you. The next would be colors and design layout of your page, and not just colors, but that's like an example. So colors communicate something, size of font communicates something. The size of the font tells you what to read first. It can also tell you what's most important, like the main message that you want to get across to your customer. And you know how people read left to right, they also click left to right. So for example, well, not necessarily click left to right, but because they read left to right, you want to have on your menu your most prominent service on the far left of the navigation bar. You want the main message that you want to communicate, you want that to be in a larger text. And color plays a role, because if you have all the text, let's say on your website, is white or black, and then you have the buttons in blue or the buttons in red, that communicates to your user in a subconscious way, just right out the gate, they know this is the button to click on, this is where I move to the next stage of the process. And so having colors clearly defined, like you don't want to have text that you can click on to be in red, and then text that you can't click on to also be in red. It needs to be separated, if that makes sense. So little things like that help your customer know where to navigate. This is a good example of a website that's following these things. Like you can see how the text in the center is bold, and that's the first thing your eye is drawn to read. And you notice how the buttons are blue, the form is blue, the chat box is blue, and that's communicating to the customer, this is what you want to click on first, this is how you communicate. Next would be buyer's journey. The buyer's journey is just the process that every buyer goes through when they're purchasing something. First is the awareness stage, and that's where the customer's asking, what's wrong with my roof? Next would be consideration stage, where they're looking at this option versus that option, repair or replace, this shingle versus that shingle. And then the decision stage tends to be more along the lines of, am I going with this company or that company? And so, for example, in the awareness stage, and the goal of all this, the goal of understanding the stages is that you want to create content on your website for each stage of the customer's journey. If everything about your website is the decision stage, which is, hey, we're the best, you should buy from us, you're not helping your customer in the early stages. And the early stages are important because you are educating your customer on your services and your products, and when you do that, you come across as the authority on the matter. So the first stage, the awareness stage, a homeowner is probably going to search something like, how long does a shingle last, or when should I replace my roof? You know, they get a leak, they have somebody come out, one person says repair, the other person says replace. They're in the awareness stage. They're trying to figure out what to do with this problem that they have. And here's a good example of a website that is trying to address the awareness stage by educating their customer on what's going on with their house. And you can see here they've got these links for the roof or the siding, and you can click into them and get more information. So that's just one way that you can address that. Next would be the consideration stage. So let's say the homeowner finds out they have an issue with their shingles and they may need to replace or they may need to repair. So they might search something different on Google. They might type in, should I repair or replace my roof? And that right there is a great keyword, long tail keyword, for you to create content around. You could create a whole page on, should I repair or replace my roof? And then on your homepage, you could have a link or a short paragraph from that page that addresses that topic, because you know that your customer that comes to your homepage is going to have questions for somebody that's in the consideration stage. They might also type in shingle versus metal, what's the best shingle, that sort of thing. So they're kind of comparing products and services. And then last would be the decision stage, where they know what they have an issue with their shingles, they know they need a replacement, and now they just need to figure out which customer or which company to go with. And that's where things come in, like reviews, testimonies, job photos, references. And so you want that on your website as well. And here's a great example of a website that has these badges at the top which communicate reputation, and then underneath of it has a video testimonial from a customer which just reinforces that. And so, and all of these examples that I've given you are all on the home page, which is a great way to set up the home page, and then from there you build out smaller pages that drill into deeper topics. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this video. Thanks.